Hello students, and welcome to another video. I'm your teacher, Mr. Flynn, and today we're going to be talking about how to calculate the mass of an element from percent composition. This is going to be very similar to the problem we solved in the previous video on calculating the percent composition of water. In this, we basically broke hydrogen and oxygen into two different parts and calculated their different mass ratios and found a percentage for them. And we're going to do the exact same thing, but now we're going to apply those percentages to a known value of a given amount of water. So we have 98 grams of water. All right, so let's go through and let's calculate how much, if we had 98 grams of water, how much hydrogen in mass do we have and how much oxygen do we have in this sample of water. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this apart and find the percent composition of water. So we have to assume that there is 1 mole of this substance in order to do this. We're assuming there's 1 mole of it. So how much does 1 mole of 2 hydrogens weigh? So we have 2 hydrogens, and we're going to multiply that by its molar mass, which is 1.008 grams. And this is H. And then oxygen, we have 1 oxygen times 16 grams of oxygen. And the reason we know that is because oxygen, its molar mass is 16, and its hydrogen's molar mass is 1.08. So when I do the math, I get 2.02 and 16. And if I add them together, I get 18.02 grams. So that's how much 1 mole of water weighs. And then what I'm going to do now is compare the parts to the whole. So the part of hydrogen to the whole of water is about 11%. And I did this calculation in the last video. And then 16 divided by 18 is 89%. So this is 11% hydrogen and now 89% oxygen. Now we're going to make this comparison to our known value. So if I have 98 grams, what I'm going to do is 98, right? And I'm going to multiply it by the decimal form of 11%. So it's going to be 98 times 0.11, and that tells me that it's going to weigh about 10.78 grams. It's going to be 10.78 grams of hydrogen. And then I'm going to multiply the other part, 89% times the number that we have given to us, 98 grams of water, and that's going to tell me that it's going to be 87.22 grams of oxygen. So if I add these together, it gives me a grand total of 98 grams, which is what I've been given up above. And if we add these together, it equals 100%. So these check out. This works out because what we've done is we found the parts to the whole, how much hydrogen and oxygen take up, like how much mass there is, and we're just comparing it to a given value that we have. So if we have 98 grams of water, okay, almost, yeah, we work in the lab, those 100 milliliter graduated cylinders, it's about one of those. About 10 grams of that is going to be hydrogen, and 87 grams of that is going to be oxygen. So we can actually tell you how much of that water is hydrogen and oxygen based on our calculations. So all we're doing is applying the percent composition to a known value. Okay, and if you need to, you can watch that previous video. It goes over everything we just talked about, and make sure to always check your answer. So add up your values, and it should equal to what you're comparing it to. This is a percentage out of 100, and this is out of 98 grams. If we had 88 grams, it would just be out of 88, and our numbers would vary. Okay. All right. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.